Thank goodness. Miss Peaches was pulling like a George Costanza from Seinfeld on me. Like, you know, George is like going into an embarrassing situation and you have to almost change the channel. It's like, please start show. Please start show, please. And it did. And Miss Peaches was like, Johnny Quest comes on. Like, yes. I don't have to hear what Miss Peaches was going to say because I know it is just going to be insanely embarrassing. For me, not her. She already heard it and was embarrassed when she first heard about it. Now she's going to throw that embarrassment that she felt on me. I'm not accepting that. I'm rubbing your glue. I don't want to hear it. Now run the controls and answer the phone. Do some radio stuff, Miss Peaches. Jeez. Wow. She's just going to tell me something about someone in our business and like it's predictable kind of. I don't know the specifics, which just would really make me, oh no. But I kind of know the gist of it. And she knows I know like 90% of it, except the key thing. And I don't want to know the key thing because it's just bad. It's embarrassing. Oh, gosh. Anyway, Miss Peaches, if she's not laughing, because she's going to try to stick this out there at 16 after 15 seconds when I break. At 4:16, I'm going to hear it. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. You guessed it. Miss Peaches running the controls, fielding your phone calls. Good guess. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, I still have 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse available. If you can name 2 New Orleans, Louisiana politicians that have spent time in jail. But we've already got about a half dozen off the list. They shouldn't have even been eligible to begin with. At least the first 4, the Edwin Edwards, C. Ray Nagin, Aaron Broussard, Bill Jefferson, that group. And then someone mentioned Oliver Thomas. Someone mentioned Derek Shepard. That's where it gets creative when you can find those types. Sadly, they're all over the place. Orleans Parish, Jefferson Parish, the North Shore, Plaquemine. It's unbelievable. All over the metro. Anyway, 766-9480. If you can name 2 New Orleans, Louisiana politicians, they both could be from New Orleans. They could both be from Louisiana. They could be a mix. Name 2 that we haven't already mentioned. And I've got 50 big bucks for you, good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. A lot going on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas, by the way. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, by the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. This is long overdue. Hoping the state's going to kick in. This music museum. I mean, this is better than like the Rock and Roll Museum. I remember the Grammy Museum. That was great because it encompasses all music genres, which the New Orleans Museum needs to do. Because we are either the single mover, the first mover, or an insanely ridiculous major contributor to just about every modern music genre, the macro genres. You know, Carl, you're telling me country, tech, R&B / blues, y'all invented that? You know, okay, I don't know all these, hybrids and, morphed versions of, rock and roll or country or R&B or whatever. I know there's all kind of branches off of different things, but the macro, the big music genres, I mean, blues, jazz, rock and roll, Zydeco, country, I mean, reggae, you didn't name it. New Orleans has either a major influence on it, was the first mover, or is the sole proprietor of it, like jazz. It's crazy. It's a beautiful thing. So a jazz museum or a country music museum, right? That's great for anywhere else. Go do it. The Blues Museum. Ours will be all of that. It'll be like, start off with one thing and branch out to a bunch, or have a bunch to begin with, maybe phases. I mean, World War II was the D-Day Museum for D-Day only, and then it turned into World War II and the Pacific Theater, and it's just incredible. The Music Museum for New Orleans should be that, just ever expanding, new wings, new genres. Anyway, I like the initial build out. 160 million is planned. You can build something decent for 160 million. That's a good start. But the concern is, will the state pay for it? Guess who we might be having on the program, Miss Peaches? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, Miss Peaches, when I see something, I go get it. Corey Johnson, have a great day. I'm not that kind. I wish I was. I wish I was the super go-getter, hyper closer, super wealthy millionaire guy. Just shut it all down. But anyway, I'm not passive, or I don't know if I should go do that. I'm not like that either. I'm in New York about 15, 20 years ago on 51st Street, Al Bustan. I like Tannerine in Brooklyn better, but I was at Al Bustan, a Middle Eastern joint, me and a buddy, like 2:30 in the afternoon, so a late lunch, empty. Friday, Manhattan. NBA commissioners sitting over there, David Stern talking to somebody. I'm like, wow, that's NBA Commissioner David Stern. And I'm like, should I go over there? My buddy's like, come on, dude. No, he's having lunch with somebody. I'm like, I'll be right back. So I walked over and said, Commissioner, I hope I'm not interrupting you. He said, no. I said, Corey Johnson from New Orleans, shook his hand. Love to get you on the program. Is that a possibility? So you call my people. I'm like, and I knew the NBA, I was doing sports talk and stuff back then. I knew the NBA media guy, something Frank. His last name was Frank. I was like, could I call Mr. Frank? He says, exactly. He's like, call whatever, Charlie Frank, whatever the guy's name was. So I was like, great. Like 3 weeks later, the NBA commissioner's on the show because I went over there and approached him. Last night, my brother's in town from London. He lives there. He comes in maybe every 6 months, 9 months. We went out to dinner. It was me, my brother who lives here. So the brothers Johnson, a trio, and then my oldest brother's son, who's like 15 and taller and bigger than me. You think he's like an adult, and he's smart and intellectual like an adult. British accent. He's a London kid. So even whatever his level is, you think he's smarter because of the British accent, and he's already smart. And then a couple of my childhood buddies. So it's like 6 of us, and Governor Landry's in there. Jeff Landry's in there with his wife, and the security team and another couple or whatever. I didn't really look at the table too much. They were kind of jammed in a corner, but I knew he was there. And I was going to go to the table, which was probably not the best idea, security and all around. But I ended up having to go to the bathroom. And as I'm going to the bathroom, there's a security guy standing in the hall by the bathroom. So I just knew right away. I'm like, wow, the governor's in the bathroom. And I actually went in the bathroom, and I wasn't going to talk to the governor in the bathroom, but it was like a bathroom for 2, and it was 2 in the bathroom. So I had to walk back out in the hall. I ended up talking to the security guy for a little while, very nice guy. And then the governor came out and introduced myself and said, I'm Corey Johnson. He kind of nodded, knowing. And I was like, yeah, I kind of regularly bust your chops on my show, but I'd love to have you on the show. He just smiled, shook my hand, and said, love to do it. Let's have some fun. He had no problem with me or that the things I've said, or I'm telling him I bust your chops. That was the first thing. I didn't say, love to have you on the show. And let's keep it a secret. I was like, first thing I said right away, like, prelimmed it, disclaimer. I bust your chops on my show. And he's like, yeah. And I'm just like, but I'd like to have you on, and I've gotten all different responses over years. Just could be like, you're insane. Screw you. Just look at me and just walk off, ignore me. Yeah, we'll do it, and never meaning it. he's throwing out names, telling his guy to get in touch with Kate, and I'm going to get in touch with Kate, and let's do it, but let's have some fun. I was like, wow. So Jeff Landry, who I kind of regularly antagonize and beat up on, I mean, almost as much as LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell, it's going on the neutral ground soon. I remember I bumped into Kobe Bryant, and he said, here, what's the number? I'll call your show the next day. And I sang that during the show, and people like, calling my show going, Corey, you stupid. He's not calling your show. Kobe Bryant called into the show. I just knew he would. Jeff Landry's going to come on the show. I'm telling you. He wasn't playing games. He was legit last night. Coming right back. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. We got a good one on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Live from Paris and the Summer Games. Fletcher Mackel's going to join us in a little while. Stick around for that. Live from Paris and the Summer Olympics. Not yet, Miss Peaches. Fletcher Mackel's going to join us in a few minutes. I'll let you know. He might be under the Eiffel Tower checking out the women doing the volleyball. Well, not really in a professional way, just likes the skimpy outfits. Frank Brigsten in the 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. Something good like a decompress, drop the shoulders. Not only the weekend's coming, but, talk a little food with Frank. James Beard Award-winning chef Frank Brigsten, as good as it gets. Plus, he's just such a humble, cool cat. Just a yatty New Orleanian, like me, a De La Salle LSU boy. And like me, Brigsten, a Scandinavian name like Corey. I told him this, Miss Peaches. Corey Brigsten gets a lot more chicks than Frank Johnson does. I think like one of us needed to sacrifice. He needed to become Frank Johnson, and I could have been Corey Brigsten. And just the way Corey spelled and Brigsten spelled, it is a chick magnet. I screwed up the Corey thing. The umlauts, the little double dot thing. I think over the second A, I could have those legitimately. I think I need to start implementing them strictly for female magnetism. It's a girl magnet. I don't even know this Corey guy, but look, the 2 dots over the second A. I like him already. Or I know that Corey guy and that bad attitude thing he's got, or that time he went, he's got the 2 dots over that second A. So I ignore the that he did to me. I don't know if I do that. My bad traits are, I say I'm the high maintenance one, not you. That usually runs the girls off pretty quickly. They're kind of like, no, I want to be the high maintenance one. I'm like, I'm not trying to be the high maintenance one. I'm just a pain. Anyway, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, we're going to have Fletcher Mackel in a little while. Frank Brigsten in the 5 o'clock power hour. And wrap things up with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. I was down at Greater New Orleans Inc. yesterday, the building, the Energy Center. Poydras Loyola, one of our better office buildings. And I was at Greater New Orleans Inc., the conference room, plus a bunch of others on the Zoom call, part of that Super Bowl committee, getting about 550 things done to kind of clean up, put our best foot forward, make New Orleans better. I'll tell you what, Miss Peaches, thank goodness the Super Bowl folks do not need to drive in uptown New Orleans. My goodness, so much street construction going on. Not so much. Holly Grove has a little bit, but Pigeon Town, like behind Lebanon's Cafe. What do you want to say? In between Carrollton, Claiborne, Leonidas, and the Riverbend, basically. Oak Street to Claiborne, Carrollton to the Jefferson Parish line, something like that, Pigeon Town. That place, 2 things, just gentrification city. Gentrification city, lots of new construction, lots of old buildings getting full-blown renovation, all that heart pine and cypress all being redone. Nice landscaping, young couples moving in, having kids, walking the dog in the neighborhood, and then lots of older Black homeowners, been married for 30, 40, 50 years. Husband and wife own their home, been there for a long, long time. So it's sort of retired Black folks that own their home, and lots of young, mostly white, but mixed newcomers coming in and sort of gentrifying the neighborhood. And the location is incredible. It's inevitable. And what's going to happen? It's going to end up crossing over to Claiborne's and into Holly Grove. It's already happening a little bit in Holly Grove. I'm not trying to key in on the color thing so much, but it's funny just being a native New Orleanian and you drive into what has always been like the hood in your life. And there's like a white girl, 20 years old, just riding her bike through there, or walking her dog, or, just young, kind of not hippie, but sort of eclectic and appreciative of the neighborhood and the history and the architecture and the convenience. And, even though expensive, the value of where it is, they think about San Francisco or New York, they're like value. In New Orleans, it's expensive. But, and they appreciate this. And it's just amazing seeing it. And it's, you name the neighborhood, they are there. The 22-year-old white girl walking her dog. They're there in any neighborhood in New Orleans that you can think of. That was once in your mind, the hood, like too rough. It could be like rough, meaning like light industrial and not enough density rough. You just get hit in the head and gets dragged back into some, building, and who knows what happens to you. No, so it's a lot of neighborhoods just where things are taking off like a rocket ship. But yeah, some of those streets, so many things going on at once. It's hard to traverse some of those areas. And the mayor does this to herself. It's unbelievable. The mayor doesn't do anything. Nothing happens. But the mayor gets proactive on Ann Bro, this woman who lives across the street. Here's the mayor's problem. She's done this before. When Fox 8 showed the video of the mayor coming and going, and the mayor's like, they're stalking me, 800 hours of video. Lee Zirk and all these people are chasing me and stalking me. It's just 100% nonsense. And some folks that want to believe the mayor, that are on her side or just are naive, they're buying into it. Here's the funny part. The video footage is the mayor's footage. The mayor's apartment, the Pontalba city-owned building, the French Market Corporation that runs it, and the mayor appoints every single board member. It's her board, a bunch of yes men and women. She got the camera set up right in front of her door for like security, ironically. And it's a public camera, so the public can access it. So the mayor's own camera, in essence, is where the video came from. Nowhere else. And that's a fact. I'm not exaggerating or embellishing, just reality. So she's saying it's like Fox 8 stalking me, 800 hours of video. It's like, no, it's your video. And Fox 8 got like 3 interns and said, okay, guys, sit down and watch this and use the jog shuttle control on the, on the digital machine and fast forward while you can watch and look out for the mayor or Vappy. And anytime they saw that, they probably bumped into a bunch that they thought were the mayor and Vappy, and it wasn't, and had to keep going. So they searched, and it's 3 like interns or something like that, and they found a bunch of stuff, and they probably missed a bunch of stuff. Warren LaRuth used to get the crab meat in the bowl at the restaurant and have one of the sous chefs, the lesser chefs, hey, pull all the crab, the crab shells out. Got it done? Yes. Great. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie walks off. Hey, Frank, come here. Frank, get all the crab shells out of this. So there'd be a second person on top of it. No, that's how you do it. That's how she's thinking like that. She's thinking like that. Anyway, so the mayor is her own worst enemy. And she has this camera that Fox 8 is just doing what they do. If they went through the crab meat again, they'd probably find more stuff. Seriously. They went through the video again, the mayor's video, the public video. I mean, I think it was 30 days, 24 hours a day. So anyway, the mayor is all bent about that. So that's how she thinks. Lee Zurich, you're stalking me. The people are stalking me. They're shooting video of me, 800 hours of it, all this crap. It's your video, lady. It's public. That's it. This Ann Bro thing, Ann Bro lives in a Pontalba apartment on a balcony. Directly across the street from a balcony is Tableau. So it's like 30 feet away, same height. She's on the second floor, Vappy and the mayor on the second floor. I don't know what Ambro's doing. Maybe every day she comes out on her balcony and says, who's eating at Tableau? Maybe she was walking outside, stretching her arms, opened her eyes, and 32 feet away is the mayor and Vappy yucking it up, having a great time, like on a date. It's crazy, but these cell phones we use, I don't know if you're aware of this. They have a camera, even video. And she took a photo of them with her phone. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just the most insane thing you've ever? Next, there's going to be thing like where you shoot a picture of yourself. They can call it a me or maybe a selfie. Maybe they'll call it a selfie. Oh, boy. Anyway, I like the me huh? So the mayor just gets busted. She doesn't like it. Ann Bro sends the picture to Metropolitan Crime. The feds want it. There's some significance to it, huh? But the mayor's like, like Fox 8 with 800 hours of video and stalking me. Ann Bro's stalking me because she took a photo from her home balcony of me 30 feet away in the French Quarter. But she's stalking me. So she opens that can of worms and goes after Ann Bro and uses police and resources that are against the law to find out info on Ann Bro. Ann Bro is suing the mayor, the chief of staff, for NOPD, violation of civil rights.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
I don't like fur babies or Rainbow Bridge. I don't like it. About a week ago, Margaret Orr's dog Blue passed away. And, you know, sweet dog. And Margaret Orr is so sweet. And people are sending condolences. And people, you know, Margaret Orr is beloved. And Blue was too. Because she did, on Twitter, she posts these little 5 a.m. weather forecasts still. And she'd shoot video in her garden. She had a beautiful garden. And Blue's running around. This border collie, smart dog. Great dog. Anyway, you know, the fur baby crossing the Rainbow Bridge. It's like, oh boy, y'all got to wreck it for me, huh? Got to ruin it for me. Anyway, I love my dogs and cats. I never called them fur baby. It's just, I don't know. I don't get that. It's a little too much for me. And believe me, they're family. Like, I treat them like human beings, and I like my cats and dogs better than a lot of human beings and all that stuff. Like, you know, and I don't have kids, so it's like more that, you know, and I know that's over the top. I'm not trying to compare animals to humans, but kind of am. So I'm all that. Love them. Over the top. But fur baby and Rainbow Bridge, I just want to, you know, the Thelma Louise last scene, or I don't know, like those old movies from like the 50s, like the Brazilian railing breaks in the car. They're going like down a 5,000-mile cliff. That's me. I'm in the car when someone's saying fur baby I'm going over the Rainbow Bridge, right in that car, flying off the, you know, breaking through the railing. Anyway, Miss Peaches is looking at me very straight-faced and pissed. She likes fur baby and Rainbow Bridge. I'm just spitting on her. They're like these nice big things. They're fluffy. She wants to hug them, and I'm just spitting on them. She's like, "Why are you spitting on my fur baby and my Rainbow Bridge, Corey? Jeez, look, they're so soft and cuddly. Rainbow Bridge, I love it." I'm just throwing tar on it, feathering it. Miss Peach's Rainbow Bridge and fur baby is feathered and tarred now. It's just awful. I'm going to light the Rainbow Bridge on fire in a second if you don't watch it, Miss Peaches. Lighting the Rainbow Bridge on fire. Exactly. They're going still where they're going. Jeez. Oh, jeez. I don't know how we got into that. I don't know. Anyway. It is Friday. Hey, Lincoln Beach, a public meeting last night. This one was actually public. The city didn't kick out the hey, we really don't want any media here, and we don't want any neighborhood folks that have strong opinions. That's essentially but otherwise it's a public meeting. So that didn't fly over well last month. So they had a real one last night. A bunch of folks showed up. It's kind of had their you-know-what together. The key to getting anything done in New Orleans, I mean, it's really easy to get things done in New Orleans, believe it or not. Two things have to happen. You got to get the neighborhood that you want to do the project in involved, greatly involved. You have to make them a partner in the deal, not monetarily where, okay, you guys get 15% of the take, but a partner in the deal, like working with them on what you're trying to create. And then obviously they have to be on your side after that. Sean Meenan, who has the Habana Outpost, a very successful, just beautiful restaurant, fits in perfectly. It's very New Orleans, tropical-like, makes the corner. It's on the corner of Esplanade and Rampart, the old abandoned gas station for like 40 years, and the house, the first house behind it. The few houses right behind that, they had these No Habana Outpost signs up for years. These folks like independently wealthy, mama's boy with money. Some have law degrees or have friends that are lawyers that have nothing to do but spin their wheels. They fought Sean Meenan for over a decade, stopping him from building the Habana Outpost. Now, I thought, how many people over 40 years bought that property or had a lease or project idea and they squashed it and we never heard about it? Probably a few. For 40 years, it sat idle. You figure every few years, someone saw that and approached it. And every few years, these people successfully squashed it. Different, Sean Meenan was a Golden Gloves champion and an original investor in Etsy. So he's worth tens of millions of dollars, if not north of $100 million. He's got a lot of money, wealth, and wherewithal and toughness to take on these losers that think they're like, we're the real New Orleanians, no Habana Outpost. No, they like the blight. They like the neighborhood how it is. You know, I have to live here. It's like you live on Esplanade near Rampart in the Quarter. It's like you live by the airport and you're complaining they're going to bring more flights in and fly over your house. You live by the runway. You live in the Quarter, you know? Oh, we have enough problem with Bufas and Port of Call. You live in the Quarter on Esplanade. Wake up already, you know? But these selfish people drove away people for 40 years until they got in front of the champ, and the champ, ka-clink, knocked them out. You got to like that. Knocked them out. No, that was a beautiful thing. No, these New Orleanians that think they know better. And I love the Habana Outpost. In the window is a No Habana Outpost sign from one of the neighbors. It's funny. It says No Habana Outpost, and then it's got the big red circle with the line through it. So it's like, okay, that seems like a double negative. So you're saying you want the, like the folks that are saying No Habana Outpost, you're against them. Anyway. Corey Johnson with you, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Lincoln Beach public meeting. It actually was public. About $25 million project. 500 space parking. They pretty much have the parking lot north, just all overgrown with weeds. Just have to, clear it up, dig it up, resurface a new lot. Got to have security, got to have restrooms. They are demanding the elevated bridge crossing, and they should demand it. The financing was already, it was either John Kennedy or Troy Carter secured like $4 or $5 million for that. It is basically almost like an exact duplication of the Crescent Park Bridge. Have you ever gone to Crescent Park where that bridge goes over the flood wall, over the train tracks, over the riverfront streetcar tracks, and puts you down into Crescent City, into Crescent Park? It's essentially like, I'm guessing, about a 3 or 4 story tower on the street side, and then a 3 or 4 story tower on the other side of the flood wall, the other side of the train tracks, the other side of the riverfront streetcar tracks. And then there's a huge pedestrian bridge that connects the 2 towers. And each tower has a flight of steps going up to the 3 or 4 floors. I shouldn't say 3 or 4 floors. however many floors high it is. It goes to one level. The steps go up to the top. The elevator goes to the top. They have an elevator too. I rode my bike over there, got my went in the elevator on my bike, rode up to the top, rode my bike across the bridge that put you over the flood wall, the train tracks, the streetcar tracks, got to the other tower, took the elevator down. Or I could have put my bike on my shoulder and went down the steps. Either way. Really cool, and put you right down into Crescent Park and then put you back down into the Marigny. They're going to do the exact same thing. A tower at the edge of the parking lot with steps and an elevator, and then a linear bridge across Hain Boulevard, which is supposed to get redone, Hain. Median, one lane in each direction, bike lanes, walking paths, much more pedestrian friendly, and a lower speed limit, not a drag strip. So the bridge will go over Hain Boulevard, go over the flood wall, go over the train tracks, and then connect to another tower that'll put you down at the entrance to the beach. So from the parking lot to the beach via the tower that has an elevator and steps and a bridge over Hain, the flood wall, and the train tracks. So it looks like they're green lighting all of this stuff, but I like the three renditions, like, pick what you like, neighborhood group. What do you want? What do you like? What do you not like? Here's a circle what you like and put an X through what you don't. And then they can consolidate the three renderings and come up with one, and everybody's thumbs up. But they're doing it right, getting the neighborhood involved because the neighborhood lives right there. It's their neighborhood. Makes sense. I just hope it gets green lighted. Because we were already, is it green lighted or green lit? We were already there with Pontchartrain Beach. About 2 years ago, Pontchartrain Beach, a multi-million-dollar plan, tens of millions of dollars, public-private partnership. It's beautiful what they wanted to do at Pontchartrain Beach. Absolutely incredible. And then it was just a little public outcry, and the folks that were putting together, I guess, didn't have the wherewithal to hang around, and they walked. Nothing happening at Pontchartrain Beach. I hope Lincoln Beach doesn't go in the same direction. I doubt it will because the funding's already there, and most of it's federally funded. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940. Want to experience the best dry cleaner in the business? YoungsDryCleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless lockers. YoungsDryCleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 5 o'clock power hour. Frank Brigsten will join us from his restaurant, Brigtsen's. That's in less than 30 minutes. I love visiting with Frank on a Friday. Just a little decompression, talk food, what we do best in New Orleans. Tough to beat. And Frank is, what I love about Frank, Yaddy New Orleanian, a James Beard award-winning chef, like world-renowned chef, yet so humble and cool. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. in about 35, 40 minutes. The downside of the 5 o'clock power hour. I was with Michael yesterday, the Super Bowl committee. I'm on that committee where it's probably about 50 of us or more. We've got about 550 ideas. The public, anything you see out there, I shot a photo yesterday and sent it to Michael and Greater New Orleans Inc. You sent it right to their website. I was on Tulane Avenue approaching Claiborne. So coming from Broad or Galvez or Doc Francis Parkway, Carrollton, whatever, away from there, heading towards downtown, heading towards Claiborne. And I might get the VA or the university hospitals to my left. I'm staring about a block away, the I-10 overpass. Yeah, you Stellies. I know the Stellies out there, Mr. and Mrs. Stelly, they want it gone. I'm with you. Just got to be rebuilt somewhere else, but I'm with you. Or maybe in the same spot, higher, taller, wider. Y'all don't like that, but I'm with you. We're on the same page. It has to go. Somewhere down the line. Some a block away from it, and the steel understructure needs to be painted, and the concrete is going to be power washed already. But I just zoomed in, took a picture, and you could clearly see the steel girder, I-beam, whatever, the big 3-foot high, thick steel, just paint peeling, 2 different colors of paint. Just looks like crap. That needs to be painted. There's little things, there's big things. One of the latest that I came up with is the consolidation of those ornamental pipes on the I-10, the old interstate, like I guess it would be like 50s, 60s era interstate, like the Pontchartrain Expressway. There's the railing. Here's the problem. The railing's there, and then you have this little curved piece that's, maybe like a foot high, and then there's this metal pipe that goes to the next little curved metal piece that's about a foot high. And I guess the metal pipe's 6-8 feet, maybe 8 feet, 6 or 8 feet. So there's these pipes along the interstate. And over time, some are missing, some are stolen. Cars hit them. They get knocked out of place. They're hanging off, hanging on. The thing it goes into is missing. The pipe's missing. Just all kind of stuff's, they're just not all together. So I told Michael, it's old stuff. It's not worth let's figure out how many there are. Get the metal made. You don't spend the money on that. Just a part of the interstate that has them, or an exit ramp or a bridge that has them, that they could easily be removed and no one would notice. You just remove it all from that one bridge and you kind of consolidate the pieces wherever else you can. And then where you can't connect it, just remove it. The only problem with removing it, believe it or not, besides being ornamentation, I think it's psychological. Did you ever go across the causeway when they removed the railing on the Mandeville to Metairie side before they put up the new railing? They removed the little piping thing. It kind of freaked you out. You're like, oh my God, that concrete railing is so low. Like, you knew the pipe wasn't going to hold your car onto the road, but it gave you this mental, optical illusion of a taller railing. And when it was stripped away, you're like, my God, I could just drive right over that. That railing's like a big curb. I think on the interstate, it's the same concept. I think you remove that piping, that railing's going to be sort of exposed as low. And I think the guy that's, I'm driving 45 on the interstate is going to be doing 35, I think it's going to just scare the bejesus out of people. And replacing it with the taller railing is not happening. It's just not, it's not the Causeway Bridge. So I don't know I think on some parts, especially like where it's a bridge and it's elevated, and you probably have to leave them. But in some parts, like an exit or where it's down on the ground, they need to be removed and consolidated where you're keeping them. So it has at least a look of conformity and that it's all together and someone gives a blank. Because for how many years now have those pipes just slowly but steadily been falling apart, popping out of the seam, hanging there, missing on the interstate? It's just getting worse and worse. It's kind of a blank or get off the pot type of thing. Fix them or not. Speaking of, hey, New Orleans East, city of New Orleans. You know that cable they run in between the interstate to stop cars from, some guy just passes out at the wheel and goes into the median. He won't be able to go into oncoming traffic on the other side. Those cables they pull really, really tight. Well, someone wrecked into them in New Orleans East. So when the cables are compromised, you might as well not have them. They don't do the job. They did the job where they broke. That was catching the car that ran into them. But here's the deal. They did what they're supposed to do. It's like a railing. A car bangs into the railing. You replace the railing because it's damaged. Those cables, DOTD, Orleans Parish, whoever's responsible, you got to tighten them up. They need some tightening up. Tighten up the cables. We're going to tighten things up, Blue Boy. 5 o'clock power hours next. Fletcher Mackel live from Paris. Frank Brights and Michael Hecht. Don't move, New Orleans.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred and Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba tea time, a dabba doo.
We had to edit out. You'll have a gay old time. It's 2024. It's just not politically correct. That's the final line, Miss Peaches. We'll have a gay old time. Can't say that anymore. It's just politically incorrect. Oh, boy. Last night we were talking about Blazing Saddles, the dinner scene in Anchorman 2. Someone brought up Tropical Thunder or whatever, that movie. Like, could you do this movie today? And so many things you just can't do today that were done before. I don't know if like Anchorman 2 could do the dinner scene again. And Blazing Saddles, I'm sitting at home like a month or two ago. Blazing Saddles is on. I'm just like peeing in my pants. I've seen it 1,000 times. I literally pull my phone out and I shoot like about 20 seconds of it, and I'm about to post it on Twitter. And I'm like, Corey, are you stupid? No one will get like your inflection. Or, do you mean this? Is this what you think? Are you putting it out there that it's funny? I almost posted Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack. He's standing there. The two brothers are sitting there caddying. The one with the red shirt with the sleeves cut off. And Rodney Dangerfield walks up and he's like, hey, you two are brothers? And they go, yeah. And then he makes this Italian joke. He says, yeah, for Italians, this is considered skilled labor, meaning caddying. Right. So, I mean, like, I'm going to post that. I'm going to get a bunch of crap from Italians. Like, I don't like Italians. I'm like, I love Italians. I'm a New Orleanian. If I had 12 groomsmen in my wedding, like 6 or 7 of them were Italian, Sicilian. It's like, I'm like 15% according to some DNA thing. I love Italians. I love Italian clothing and Italian, workmanship, like leather goods, whatever. Are you kidding me? Italy's the best. If I went to Italy, I may never come back. I love it. Anyway, I digress, Miss Peaches. What was I babbling about? Yeah, before that. Yeah. Lost on a Friday. Did you swap out the water for vodka again? Yeah, I wish I'd have an excuse. Anyway, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. Babbling about something there, Miss Peaches. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Flintstones. Hopefully we're going to hook up with Fletcher Mackel live from Paris and the Summer Olympics. Frank Brigtsen's about 10 minutes away talking food. That's tough to beat. I love visiting with Frank Brigtsen. Love it. Oh, I was talking about posting crap on Twitter that's racist. Yeah. No, so Rodney Dangerfield's joke is, y'all are Italian? For Italians, this is considered skilled labor, meaning caddying. Yeah. And then the kid, who's great, with this cut-off sleeve shirt, flicks his cigarette out in the golf course and goes, No, I'm actually a millionaire. And my doctor told me I should get out and maybe carry golf clubs. And then Rodney Dangerfield's like, hey, yeah, funny kid. And then it's probably ad-libbed. He walks away and goes, yeah, what time are you due back at Boys Town? And everyone in the scene is just peeing in their pants laughing, like maybe they're supposed to for the acting part. It looks like they're just laughing. The kid, who's the brother of the one who flicks the cigarette, if you watch the video, he's like peeing in his pants laughing, Miss Peaches. I think Rodney Dangerfield just ad-libbed it and just crushed it. What do you do back at Boys Town? Like, you don't have parents. You're just some delinquent kid, Rodney, and just like putting a kid in his place. It's like, Rodney, you're an adult and the kid's 15, you know? Just hysterical. No, it is. And I'm about to post that on Twitter. So I'm like, no, I wouldn't. People would be like, what, you don't like Italians? Like, caddying's what only thing Italians made America. Like, I don't need that. I know, I'm with you. I love Italians. I'd marry an Italian. I love Mediterranean women. Italians don't get their feelings hurt. They better not. They better not. Better not get their feelings hurt over that. But I didn't post it because of that and the Boys Town comment. It's just like, oh, there are a lot of kids that don't have parents. Yeah, I don't need, you know what I mean? It's like you didn't finish your food and, they're starving kids and whatever. Speaking of Uptown Lady, those kids in India that are starving, I don't care. Where are you, Carolyn? We need some Uptown Lady. Miss Peaches has never heard the Uptown Lady song. She admits she is absolutely frightened, scared stiff, but she, at the same time, it's sort of like she wants to put an apple on her head and have you shoot the arrow and through the apple. She wants to put her head, but she's scared. So she wants to hear the Uptown Lady song, Miss Carolyn. So if you're listening right now, 766-9480, we could use that on a Friday. Hey, Miss Peaches, how about we blow that 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, because we love what this represents. We do this every Friday, a little after 5 o'clock for a reason. Smell the roses, this little limbo period. The work week, 100% behind you in the books. It's done. The weekend, 100% in front of you. It's just getting started. We recognize it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. We recognize it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle? Question mark? 5 o'clock whistle brought to you by Katie's. There it is. Katie's in Mid-City. Well, that's the sign. It's in Mid-City, actually. Katie's, Tallahassee Corner, Iberville. So good. Katie's is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. It's as New Orleans as it gets. It's a bunch of yatty New Orleans characters, and it's Scott Craig, owner, operator, head chef, chef-driven place, quality ingredients, unique stuff. I mean, when Scott joined us last week and it was pompano and stuffed flounder, I got 12 doormat flounder, 12 only. I mean, it's just, you got to love that. That's as New Orleans as it gets, and you better get there because there are only a dozen. And when they're gone, the 13th person asking says, sorry, we're sold out of the flounder. But he had it in pompano. He's got pompano. Seriously. Just incredible. And knows how to cook it. Katie's in Mid-City, the 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, a little after 5, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. A new music museum for the River District. Perfect. We'll talk to Michael Hecht about that in less than 30 minutes. About $160 million. I like all genres too. Music museum. I remember they were going to build that Grammy museum by the Whale parking lot by the Hilton. Never happened. River District's a better spot. Lincoln Beach public meeting was actually public out in the east yesterday. 3 new renderings, neighborhood input. They're doing it right. This thing has a chance. The Pontchartrain Beach thing was like rendering first, like one, and this is what we want to do. What do you think? Next time, Pontchartrain Beach needs to get the neighborhood involved before any, renderings are thrown out there, or do like Lincoln Beach, 3 renderings, and all of them have the things you guys wanted, that the neighborhood wanted. Last night, went out to dinner. My brother's in town. Couple of my childhood friends, my 2 older brothers, my oldest brother's son. So 6 men. Steak night. We went out to the Chop House on Magazine. Governor Jeff Landry apparently was there. I bumped into him in the hallway by the bathroom. Shook hands with him. Jeff, Corey Johnson, he kind of acknowledged it. Like, sort of, I know who you are. And he's like, I'm like, I bust your chops on my show all the time, but I'd love to have you on the show. And he said, let's do it. Let's have some fun. We'll line it up. And then his guy was there, and he's like, we'll get Corey with Kate and Kate with Corey. And security guy got my name and everything. So Governor Jeff Landry probably on the program within the next few weeks. And no, I'm not going to, it's me. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I'm not saying like I'm the only one, but it's me. So, it'll be a legitimate interview. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to go attack the guy like a grizzly bear, and I'm not going to kiss his rear end. I'm going to do what is needed and ask him the legitimate questions.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. when you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. We're going to hook up live from Paris, the Summer Games. Fletcher Mackel from WDSU Channel 6 Sports. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc., about 15 minutes away. Talk about the Super Bowl, about 200 days away from that bad boy. In the meantime, let's head to the Riverbend area, that Carrollton neighborhood of New Orleans. Dante Street, right off the Mississippi River. They've been at it over 38 years. One of the finest restaurants in New Orleans, one of the finest restaurants in America. James Beard Award winner Frank Brigsten joins us again on the program on a Friday. What up, Frank?
Where you at, Corey?
Thank goodness, huh?
I'm reporting live from Paris. Just watched the opening ceremonies, and I brought over 300 dozen soft-shell crabs. So I'm cooking them up.
Frank Brigsten is in Paris, Texas at the barbecue festival.
I'm on Dante Street.
Yep. I figured as much. Soft-shell crabs could be happening. You smoking anything over there? What are you doing?
They are happening. This week, they've been very, very available every day. So we've been selling a lot of those. We don't have any Meunier fish, so we're kind of doing the soft-shell crabs instead.
Oh, wow. What a letdown.
I know. Isn't that a bummer?
Yeah. Bye, Frank. Jeez and
Pete.
Pete.
So small,
Are they jumbo? What size are these soft shells?
The same size as me, XL.
Nice. And what you're literally doing the pecan amandine, the pecan amandine, the pecan Meunier?
Exactly. Pan-fried soft-shell crab with roasted pecans and Meunier sauce.
Wow. Sorry, speckled trout.
Bummer.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Flounder. Boy, that has to be one of the best soft shell crab dishes on planet Earth.
Thank you. Yeah, we have people that come in just for them when we have them. We never know. Each day is a little different, but they've been steady this week, so I can say that much.
How many do you have, Frank?
What's that?
How many do you have?
I've got 27 in-house right now.
Jeez, wow. That's amazing. Now, will you sell out tonight?
Probably not. We'll probably sell 18 or 20.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's hard on the kitchen. That dish really dominates service because of the way we do it. It's a 15-minute cook time. But, the guests love them so much, so we're happy to do it.
Why is it different from the trout or the flounder?
Well, they're much fatter, so they take longer in the pan.
Gotcha. What's the process?
The same. We clean them to order, so they stay nice and juicy. They don't dry out. I think that's important. And then we season them, and then they go into seasoned flour, egg wash, and then back into the seasoned flour. And then they're pan-fried in vegetable oil. And you have to give them a little more time, like I say, because they're fat. These crabs, when they hit the pan, they're an inch thick. After it comes out, we discard the oil and make our Meunier sauce right in the skillet where the crab was cooked. And you can have it as an appetizer or entree. You can get potato and veg on the side if you like. Either way, I'll leave it up to the guests. It's a meal, definitely.
And then what? When you remove the oil, you still have the little brown bits that you mix with the butter you added?
Exactly. I tell my chefs we do what I call a slow pour. Instead of just dumping the oil, you pour it slowly so that all the little brown bits of flour stay in the pan. And that's the foundation for your Meunier sauce. Then we add butter and make browned butter, like deep caramel brown, and it gets a nutty aroma. And then we very quickly add pecans, garlic, green onions, seasoning, saute that for a few seconds, and then add crab stock, lemon juice, bring it to the boil, and then finish it with more butter. So you have a nice creamy Meunier sauce that's not oily.
What do you recommend to start before that entree? What would be a good dessert after that entree?
Oh, well, I got just a thing to start with. Also in season right now is chanterelle mushrooms. These are wild mushrooms. All chanterelles are wild. You can't cultivate them. And there's a fella that we know who's a forager. And after a rain like we're having right now, the chanterelles bloom, and he goes out in the woods and harvests them for us. We'll get about 10 pounds at a time, and we'll make chanterelle bisque with onion, celery, leeks, chanterelles. We use duck stock, a little cream, and it is to me the best way to eat them. I love chanterelles for their flavor, not so much for their texture. You know, sauteed or roasted chanterelles are okay, but they have that kind of rubbery texture to them. To me, it's the flavor that really shines. And so I try and bring out that flavor by pureeing them in this bisque.
Frank Brigsten's with us on a Friday, visits with us every single Friday around 5:20, around this time, right before things get really cranking up at his restaurant. Hey, Frank, we're in mid-July, heading towards August. Are we in between seasons? Are some things fading out? Some things coming in right now? What's going on?
Well, I think crab is what's happening right now. Crab meat is beautiful, available. Still expensive, and the soft shells, of course. Chanterelles, shrimp is always available. Fish is a little sketchy. We're just kind of going with the flow on that. But next week, Thursday, August 1st, starts our culinary menu. The culinary program is put on by New Orleans and Company, and restaurants around the city make a special menu, special price, and it runs throughout the month of August. So we'll be offering a full menu in addition to our regular menu. And it's a 3-course dinner for $58. And I've got some really, really fun and exciting options. I've got 3 appetizers, 4 entrees, and 4 desserts.
Wow.
To choose from.
That's great.
So we're very excited about that.
That is exciting. $58. That's insane. That's under $20 a pop.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think it's great value, but it gives us a chance to do some different things. And this menu certainly reflects that. For instance, I'm doing a Cajun shrimp bisque. And by that, I mean it's a brown roux shrimp bisque. You know how we make crawfish bisque with the brown roux. This is done with shrimp. This is soup I used to serve at Charlie Seafood. And it's wonderful. And it certainly brings out the flavor of the shrimp and showcases traditional Cajun techniques. We're going to do a watermelon salad with organic greens, pickled red onion, feta cheese, and a citrus mint vinaigrette. Then we're going to do another soup, a cauliflower bisque with garlic, ginger, and sriracha chili sauce. And that's a vegan and gluten-free option. We did some vegan gluten-free options in our restaurant week menu in June, and it was very well received. So I'm doing it again for culinary. If you're vegan or gluten-free, you can come in and have a full 3-course meal. We got you.
Do you feel there's any sacrifice in flavor by going vegan?
No, No.
I don't think at all, because it's just a different dish you're making, right?
Oh, yeah. It just happens to be vegan.
Right, exactly. It's almost like the incidental.
No, you know how I cook. I build flavors, man. And,
Yep.
that cauliflower bisque, I've made it 3 times already to get it right, and it is outstanding. And it's very light. There's no roux or anything in it. It's just a puree. Really, really good. And then for our main courses, we're offering a very popular dish that we're doing on our regular menu right now, actually. Grilled redfish with smoked corn sauce, chipotle black bean salsa, and avocado sour cream. That's our tuna setup, but we're doing it with redfish now. And we do it on the flat top griddle, so it's really very close to blackened redfish, and it's a very popular and delicious dish. I'm doing pan-roasted pork chop with spinach and Creole mustard sauce. And this is another dish that I'm doing just for this menu, a beef brisket, au jus, with horseradish sour cream. For this, I buy really high-quality brisket. This is from Brigsten Farms, really good stuff. And I boil it in a seasoned broth, much like corned beef. It has coriander seeds, mustard seeds, bay leaf, onion, celery, carrots, red chili flakes, and then I marinate it overnight in that broth, and then slice it up and serve it with the natural juices and drizzled with horseradish sour cream. That's an outstanding dish.
Wow.
And then for our vegan gluten-free option, we have been doing an eggplant pea roll. An eggplant carved like a boat, stuffed with whatever. Now I'm doing a zucchini gondola stuffed with eggplant over campanata and Creole sauce.
Wow.
We've done this a few times. I did it last night for a vegan that happened to come in, and it's a killer dish. Really, really good. And then for dessert, we have some of our regulars. We have pecan pie with caramel sauce, of course. Lemon icebox blueberry creme brulee.
Yummy.
Our bread pudding for the next month will be rum raisin bread pudding with orange caramel sauce. That's really a killer dish. And then listen to this. This is a new one for me, and it's really killer too. Pineapple upside down cake, but it's vegan and gluten free. Oh my gosh, this cake is so good. My mom made pineapple upside down cake a lot, and I just loved it. And so this is a different kind of version of it, but you don't lose any flavor, just like you said.
Do you still?
You wouldn't know.
Do you still have that ridiculously moist chocolate cake that gets delivered to the table with a forklift?
Oh yeah, the chocolate cake with chocolate sauce is on our regular menu. The brulee, the pecan pie, and then we're doing this bread pudding, the rum raisin bread pudding.
That chocolate cake is a chocolate sponge that is dipped in chocolate. That's what it is. It's
yeah, pretty much.
Without it dripping, without anything dripping off of it. But you're like, you think if you would grab it in your hand and fling it, something might drip off of it. It's so moist. It's like, it's not dense like a mousse, but it's so rich and thick, kind of. I don't know how to describe it. It's incredible.
Thank you. We really love it too. I like to take one home on Saturday night at the end of the week, and then sit on the couch and enjoy that. It's simply good.
It's so good. I know. You know, Frank, I'm serious. I might be banging on the back door tomorrow night and get a slice. But what's hard is, do you get the pecan pie or the big chocolate slab? So I may have to get a date or something and get both.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get one to go. The pie holds really well. You can have that for tomorrow. Have a breakfast.
The pecan pie is so damn good. I mean, almost like mediocre pecan pie is good, but when you get it to this gourmet level, just the crust, the pecans, the goop in the inside. It's so good.
Yeah, baby.
Yep. What are we missing, Frank? I mean, you still got the incredible filet with that thick demi-glace. I love like you cut a bite of that, you run the bite through the sauce. It separates like the Red Sea. You're like eating that bite of meat, and you look down on your plate, and the sauce is still slowly but surely coming back together, like where you ran that piece through and saw the clean plate. It's a thick, tacky demi-glace, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's the Marchand Duvan sauce. But actually, we've changed the beef up this week, and it's really selling well. We're doing a 6-ounce beef fillet, certified Angus beef, with, real filet of beef pantava, like the original chicken pantava from the original Brennan's. And so the beef is set on top of a bed sauteed ham, mushrooms, green onions, roasted potatoes, and then we top the whole thing with béarnaise sauce. Oh my goodness!
What's the sauce?
Béarnaise.
Oh wow!
Yeah, hollandaise with a tarragon and shallot reduction.
It's like a yellowish color.
Favorites.
It's like yellowish colored.
It's yellow. Like a hollandaise.
Yeah.
And you can see the tarragon leaves in there. So.
Wow. And just coated over the filet?
Yeah. One of my favorite French sauces, really.
That little center cut nugget naked is good. When you get a Frank Brigsten sauce on it, that's where I just tell people, like, I can cook a good steak. I'm like, I can too, but I can't make a sauce like Frank Brigsten, okay?
To the pros.
Exactly. I'm a great griller. I'm a good cook, Frank. I'm just not a gourmet chef. There's a difference, you know?
Yeah, it's everything else that goes with it. I agree with that.
Yep.
But y'all be careful driving home if you are leaving work on the road right now. Keep your eyes open. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great, Frank. Might see you tomorrow night for a dessert.
Let's do it.
Thanks, man.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That's Frank Brigsten, 861-7610. 861-7610 is the phone number. Call them up. They might have an opening tonight or tomorrow night. And you know it's a great thing to do? When you've got your little ace in the hole, like your neighborhood restaurant, the place that they know you know them, you can go anytime. And you go often. You go a lot. And you love it. But you're going all the time. It's a convenient place for you. If you're going there on a Friday, Saturday night, whatever, Tuesday through Saturday night, before you're walking out the door, call Brigtsen's and just see if something's available. Even on a Friday or Saturday night where you're like, I know they're booked. There's a doctor's convention in town. You'll call and they might be like, sorry, we're booked up. That's the worst thing that can happen. Big deal. Bye. Thank you. And you go to your neighborhood joint. They might say, hell, we got a 4-top right now. Had someone cancel. We got a table available in 10 minutes. When can you be here? 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 times that works. It's always a good fallback. I mean, I wouldn't count on it. Don't make it like, oh, we're going to Brigtsen. If we're not eating tonight. I mean, then you may not eat. But if you got your little neighborhood ace in the hole that you can always go to, your go-to spot, call Brigtsen's before, because you can always go to the go-to spot. But Brigtsen's is special. Boy, and some of the stuff he ripped off, some of the, that ripped off like took from someone else. I mean, just the rattling off the list of stuff that he's got. Jeez and Pete's. And that culinary menu, $58, 3 courses. That average is under $20. I mean, the entree is going to be $35, $40, $58. Pretty good deal. Brigtsen's in the Riverbend, 861-7610. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Last night, my brother's in town from London. My other brother lives here. Got a couple of childhood friends. My oldest brother's son, 6 of us, 6 men. We went and had a steak at the Chop House on Magazine. Martin, I met the general manager. Besides, he's a Jesuit boy. Great guy. took care of us last night. Not like gave us anything or took care of the bill or anything, just took care of us and took care of everybody. A very great staff over there. I bumped into Governor Jeff Landry in the hallway. Shook his hand, told him who I was. He seemed to know who I was. I said, Governor, I bust your chops on my show all the time, but I'd still like to get you on the show. Can we do something? He goes, let's do it. Let's set it up. Let's have some fun. I don't mind. Let's go. He could seem to care less of who I am, what he's seen, what he's heard, what I've said. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. So I respect that. I'm not going to cut Jeff Landry any slack, and I'm not going to go attack him either like I'm on some agenda. But I'm going to be Corey Johnson and ask the right, correct questions like when I interview anybody like that. So in the next few weeks, Governor Jeff Landry will be joining us on the program. That should be good. Hey, coming up in a few minutes, Michael Hecht joins us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Hey, if you need air conditioning help, we're in late July heading towards August. It is air conditioning, necessity time right now. If your AC isn't working right, not cooling like it should, making a funny noise, or worse, not working at all, don't stress out. You don't have to go check into a hotel. You don't have to go sleep with the in-laws. Don't have to sleep in the heat. You call Total Maintenance. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys. Total Maintenance. Air conditioning experts that come immediately. In New Orleans, NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com. In Baton Rouge, TM, like Total Maintenance, AC.com. TM-AC.com in Baton Rouge. TM-AC.com in the capital city. NOLAAC.com in New Orleans. That's Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. New Orleans, air conditioning needs, NOLAAC.com. Baton Rouge, TM-AC.com.
River Cities, Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
We're going to Paris, Texas, the big barbecue festival. Fletcher Mackel joins us live from Paris, Texas. Fletch, what's up, man?
I am about to wrap up a 17-hour day, but it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I think it's like midnight here in Paris.
Yep.
It's actually almost 1 a.m. in Paris, and I just witnessed the opening ceremony live. So it was a pretty eventful day here in my little life.
Yep. Fletcher Mackel, WDSU Channel 6 Sports, 22 straight days in Paris, France, the Summer Olympics. He'll be reporting for Channel 6 and a bunch of other of the parent company NBC affiliates all around the country, right, Fletch?
Yeah, all 30 TV stations that Hearst owns around the country, from Boston to Sacramento,
nice,
Orlando, West Palm Beach, all the way up to, Iowa and places like that, Des Moines. So yeah, 30 stations around the country. I think I'll say this: I have a new appreciation because, we do things in our lives and professionally, it's rewarding, but there's still first for everything. And the kind of coverage that some of these people do, it's a little bit new to me. I mean, I did like 7 hours of live shots for 30 different stations from East Coast to West Coast. It was like 47 live shots, and which was great, but it's definitely interesting. And, time flies when you're, 5 minutes with this TV station, then boom, right away you're to the next one. And but everybody wants to know what's going on at the Olympics here in Paris.
Do you have like a cue card where you're like, hey, Martha, and then you're like, for Boston KZXT, I'm Fletcher Mackel, or are you doing all that?
So how about this? There's a field producer there, and they have a whiteboard with a marker, and they're doing two at a time. It's hey, Pittsburgh's next. The anchors are John and Sally. And I'm not kidding. And like 1 minute before, I hear somebody in Pittsburgh going, can you hear me, Fletcher, in Paris? I'm like, yeah. And then like right when that's done, the phone line changes, and the next one on the whiteboard is already written. And then, it's just a constant, like I said, it was a new experience for me, having done this for 25 years, to kind of see this world that a lot of these, network correspondents and people that do a lot of work like this are capable of doing.
You can't do this 24/7, 365. You can do it for 22 days or however many days you're going to have to do it. You like to talk. You like engaging with people. That's why you got into this business. This has to be a lot of work, but also a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, look, just being here, like, somebody goes, are you going to have time to do anything? I go, I'm doing everything.
Exactly.
I'm here. I literally had a front row seat tonight at the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics. So, sure, did I have to work and talk about it and do reports on it? Yeah, but I was still here. So you're right. It's a lot of work in the hours. Look, we were up at 7:30 this morning in the lobby, and it's 1 a.m., and I'm just pulling back in. They had a shuttle bus, and I literally just got off and got back to the hotel, and it's 1 a.m. here.
Look, no free time, fast food, whatever that joint's called in Paris. Free time, I think. No fast food, no Burger King on the Champs-Élysées. That's a great thing. Even you're going to do touristy stuff by default. Eating good steak free, and, going into good restaurants, walking into a pub, whatever. You're gonna be doing all this stuff by default, right?
Yeah, look, we've already had some great meals. The group that I'm with is a lot of really good people. And our first couple of nights here, before we really started working hardcore, we went to a couple of really great restaurants. And and I do kind of like the fact. I will say this. Oddly enough, they do have a McDonald's right across the street from our hotel.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to go Pulp Fiction style for a Royale with cheese.
No way.
But yeah, but I've seen literally nothing but French bakeries and cafes. It's just, Paris is a pretty enchanting place. It's my first time here.
Yeah. What's your first impression, Fletch, real quick, before we let you? I know you got to run.
People can't romanticize it enough. It's lived up to every expectation I ever heard about it.
I know. Isn't it incredible? Like, you've seen a lot of it. Like, you've almost it seems like you've been there because you've seen so much of it, but it doesn't disappoint, does it?
It definitely does not in any way, shape, or form. It's been pretty. Look, I got here Monday, and it's Friday, and I got 2.5 weeks to go. Yeah, 16 days to go, and it's been pretty unbelievable.
Hey, before we let you go, with volleyballs under the Eiffel Tower, what are some on the Seine? Lots of great venues, right?
Yeah, look, I was out there with the LSU girls. I talked to Chris and Nuss, and we went out. We were the only people there when they practiced in Eiffel Tower Stadium the other night, and that was one of those awesome moments for me, to be there with a local girl from New Orleans and under the Eiffel Tower in a stadium, 13,000 seats, it's going to be beautiful and people watch it on TV.
All right, Fletch, before we let you go, where can folks check you out? Online, Channel 6, where can they see you? What are you going to be doing?
All of it, WDSU, digital, and we got a special half-hour show every day, the Olympic Zone at 6:30.
Wow. Fletch, thanks so much for the call from Paris.
Always a pleasure, Corey.
Yeah, you're right. Fletcher Mackel from Channel 6. We're going to have to get him a steak for that, man. That was nice of him. Fletcher Mackel from Channel 6, live from Paris, Summer Olympics. Check him out. Doing great stuff. And it's just a good gig, man. 22 days in Paris. Awesome. Michael Hecht joins us next from Greater New Orleans, Inc. on a Fantasy Friday. Lots going on. Ann Bro suing the mayor, the chief of staff, 4 NOPD officers. She's the woman who took the photo of the mayor from the balcony at Tableau. Lincoln Beach, public meeting in the East. This one actually had public folks show up and were allowed to come. The city didn't say no to the press and didn't say no to neighbors that are outspoken. Anyway, Lincoln Beach looks like it's getting green lighted. We'll see. This guy has answers to a lot of these questions. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. joins us on a Friday. What up, Miguel? Michael Hecht?
Asked yet.
What's that?
I've got answers to questions that haven't even been asked yet.
I know you do. You're Karnak.
Yeah, Karnak, exactly. I tell you what, that Lincoln Beach, that's a nice project. I love that.
I like that bridge that's going to copy the bridge to Crescent Park. You know, the 2 towers with the bridge, with the elevators and the stairs and the towers. And it goes from the Marigny over the flood wall, the train tracks, the riverfront streetcar, and the other tower puts you in Crescent Park. This is going to put you from the parking lot over Hain Boulevard, over the flood wall, over the train tracks, down into the beach. Pretty cool. You there, Michael? Uh-oh, did we lose Michael Hecht? I tell you what, Miss Peaches, you hear what's going on outside? We could have a little cellular tower down. No, I don't think that. But, boy, it is storming. It is raining outside. And this morning was fine. And then right around lunchtime, pretty much steady rain and different parts of town, lots of rain and even little street flooding. So be careful out there. If you can get your goodies and hunker down at home, that might be a good call. Or get to where you're going quickly and just settle down there because of this rain. No reason to be out and about in this crap. That's for sure. Corey Johnson with you. Every week, this segment with Michael Hecht brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. Go to their website, latrim.com, for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled Laitram, latrim.com. Sorry, Michael, we lost you there for a second. But
no problem. It starts raining.
Yep.
Working in this town. I'm sorry, man. You there?
Yep, we got you. And we're running on 60 hertz, not 25. So the turbine 4 doesn't need to be operating. We're good.
Corey, I'm not even Hertz. I'm Avis. I'm trying harder.
You are trying harder. I'm Enterprise. I deliver to you, bro.
Yeah, you know what? That's good because you strike me more as like one of those off airport ground rental places, like Easy Rent. You know, one of the places where you get like a Yugo, and and it's some guy named Hugo renting you a Yugo. You know, where you got to like take the cab off the ground. There's not even a shuttle there.
Yeah, I remember one guy was like, dude, why don't the Yugo have a floor panel? I'm like, how would you stop the car, Fred Flintstone?
Yeah, exactly. Duh.
Exactly. It's $19 a day. Quit bitching and take your car. Anyway.
I tell you, we were in Pittsburgh over the weekend, and they had these electrified bikes you can rent. We're getting them now in New Orleans. They're actually pretty good. I mean, you need them more in Pittsburgh because they've got lots of hills, but they certainly do make getting around easy. And I think that's part of this grant we just got from the feds.
What's that gonna about making a little more green infrastructure? That $50 million for 5 years?
Yeah, part of that's going to go towards more rental bikes and more e-bikes as part of the rental. So they're kind of like they're electrical assist to your bike, but when you get tired, it kind of lets you trundle along at like 10 miles an hour without pedals.
Yep. Hey, Michael, I remember maybe 15 years ago, might have been longer than that, the Grammy Museum next to the Whale parking lot by the Hilton. You know, not like Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but all music genres, which makes sense because every major music, modern major music genre, we're either the originator of it, the most significant mover or first mover of it, or we have a major influence in it. Every major music genre. So a all-encompassing museum, not just one genre smart. This new music museum for the River District, I like the $160 million price tag because that tells me the first phase is going to be fairly first class. Is this thing going to go?
You know, Corey, I'm a good storyteller but a bad liar. I can tell you that the River District is a go. I think that that's going to happen. The music museum makes tons of sense, but I really haven't been pulled into the inside of it. They've gotten a couple $1 million, but they need
160 and a lot of state money.
Yeah, and so the idea is great. It should go. I don't have a sense about whether it's going to go right now, to be honest, because I just haven't seen these things require kind of narrative momentum. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the idea is a wonderful idea. I love it, but I just don't know if the narrative momentum is there yet to make it happen.
We really need to, because we're the music capital of the world, and we let places like Austin and Nashville claim it.
Well, the Cleveland thing is just like a head scratcher. It's weird. It's like the Cleveland thing is like, who kidnapped music? Oh, Cleveland took it when you were sleeping.
Well, they were supposed to get the world's biggest ball of twine, but they didn't.
Well, what musical acts came out of Cleveland? There must be a few.
Oh, no, it's like heavy metal stuff and a few. It's a handful. I'm sure that, but yeah, it's not. If you know what's sad, Michael? Like, we're spoiled. Most cities aren't music cities at all. And Cleveland actually has like some music clubs and the like. Other cities are catching on. It's like food. 30 years ago, most cities didn't have good restaurants outside of New Orleans, New York, San Francisco, a few others, Chicago. Now, every city in America, you can probably find a decent restaurant. I think the same thing with the music. They're trying to cultivate music and music clubs.
Yeah, no, it can work, to some degree, but there's we just suffer from the curse of riches. We're so blessed, but I'll tell you, we still do it better. I went to a show last night. A Moroccan guy named Mamouche Shuki at Snug Harbor, and he had Jason Marsalis on vibraphone.
Wow.
He had Dr. Michael White.
Wow.
Sax. He had a bunch. He had an old drummer, new drummer come up. He had a young girl, looked like she might have been a Noka, and play clarinet with Dr. White, and it was just a transcendent show. And it just reminded you that we have something that other places can't pull off. We just got to, we talked about this, Corey. What I've learned from the Super Bowl experience is that it wouldn't be that hard to take us from whatever we are now, a C- or a D in terms of infrastructure, up to a B, not to, North Dallas kind of level of Singaporean newness, but to a level of perfectible. And if we were able to get to that level, all of our problems would be great. People wanted to be here. So it's like Keith Kirkpatrick said, we just got to be brilliant at the basics, although I think we just got to be basic at the basics.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've often said that when people used to come in from New Orleans East and the interstate was terrible, they'd say it's terrible. When we fixed it, they didn't go, oh my God, this interstate's fantastic. You got to go to New Orleans. It's normal. So just be good at the basics and everything's fine because we kick ass on all the other stuff: food, music, culture, history, architecture, people.
We're going to, so here are the three things that I'm most excited about right now, Corey. One is We're going to fix that tombstone sign into New Orleans East.
Yep.
We're going to pretty it up and put on a rocket ship.
Yep.
The second thing, the entrance to UPT has been repainted with their country club. And the third is that we're going to clean up the French Quarter.
What's the second one?
The entrance to Union Station.
Oh, yeah. The Union Station, it's already starting. Clean up the French Quarter. Love it. You're the man, Michael.
Let the dogs out, Corey.
I'm letting the dogs out. I'll see you next week. We'll talk more about the Super Bowl.
Thank you, brother. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Michael. 200 days out to the Super Bowl. See you Monday.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.